Paizo has taken a very firm stance against a topic that has divided the internet. There is some new releases coming out from Starfinder, which we need to talk about. It's hard to not get excited about it. Currently, there are 2 new setting books coming down the pipe for Starfinder, and we're also getting a new combined adventure path for Starfinder. Before I dive into the Ports of Call book and what to expect from that one, there is an honorable mention that I would like to mention. Paizo has released many fantastic GM tools, such as the rules cards to just make, learning the system a bit like a flash game. Also for ship combat, for planet building, and now we are getting something for creating NPCs. It is called the Deck of Endless NPCs. If you've struggled to come up with an NPC on the spot because your players are inquisitive and they've asked stupid questions like, what's this character's name? No more struggling to create NPCs with names and races and motivations. Starfinder now has a tool that will help you as a GM fill in the gaps for NPCs, creating interesting characters on the fly. The package itself will have 104 NPC cards. They will be spread out among 12 of the most popular races within Starfinder, and there is also going to be character portraits on the back of the cards. This will be available March 29th of 2023. Now, one of the major releases that's happening for Starfinder this year is Ports of Call. This isn't going to necessarily appeal to everyone, but I think it's definitely going to have a strong place in the Starfinder releases. Within Ports of Call, there will be 10 highly detailed spaceports that you can pull out from the module, pull out from this expansion, and plug into your games anywhere you want. Some places are already established within the Starfinder lore, such as Drifter's End. Iza Damar is included in this from the Scoured Stars adventure path, as well as some information around a theme park world called Galorion World. There is also something that's going to be included with this supplement that has been greatly lacking from Starfinder, although the fan base has filled this in a little bit themselves. I am talking about a star map of all of the places in the Starfinder universe, at least the big ones anyways. There will also be new rules for faster drift travel and hyperlane travel. This is a new phenomenon that's come out of the Drift Crisis event that's been happening. There will also be 4 new playable races, one of them being the Zul'Gath. And if you missed my video on Pathfinder where I talked about Eridan and his genocide of the Zul'Gath people, then you need to check that out up here. There is also going to be expanded rules for ship downtime, new ship jobs, a cargo mechanic subsystem if you really wanted to just be, cargo haulers. I think this is going to be a great supplement. It's coming out May of 2023. Scoured Stars is getting the royal treatment from Paizo. It is getting the combination treatment like the Dead Sons got. All of the individual adventure paths are going to be combined into one book, and if you want to get it in special edition, you can do that too. Now, the adventure itself has also been reworked and re-optimized, so playing this at home should be a lot easier. The adventure itself is going to be 250 some odd pages. It's gonna be a chunky boy. The complete campaign will run your characters from level 1 up to 15. I still have 2 topics that I need to talk about, but before we move on to those, if you are enjoying the channel, if you do love Starfinder, if you love lore around role-playing games such as Starfinder, Pathfinder, and World of Darkness, any of the games in that setting, I would love to have you join me at the table. And if you enjoyed this video sort of letting you know what's coming down the pipe for Starfinder, if you would hit the thumbs up button, that lets me know that I can do more of these for you. Starfinder Enhanced. This is one of the biggest announcements from Paizo around the Starfinder setting. Some people have taken this as a sign that a new version of Starfinder is coming. It's not. Paizo themselves have said that it is comparable to what they did with Pathfinder Unchained 10 years ago in Pathfinder 1E setting. What Starfinder Enhanced aims to do is rework some of the original classes so they're a little bit more balanced, maybe a little bit more effective. I'm hoping to see the Witch Warper tuned up just a little bit. Also included in this book is going to be a revision to Starship combat rules. Love it or hate it, and there really is only those 2 options when it comes to Starfinder, so I am interested to see what Paizo is changing with the Starship combat and maybe reintegrating this into more games. Now, while some classes are getting a bit of a tune-up, there will be new options, new features for every class in Starfinder with Starfinder Enhanced. There is also going to be new archetypes, spells, 90 new feats. 90! There is also going to be some rules for scalable equipment. You don't have to trade out your favorite weapons anymore. Now they can just grow with you. I don't know how that's going to work, but I'm interested to see this one as well. There is also going to be some more narrative subsystems for Starship Combat with this book. There is also going to be rules for expanded creature companions, and I think this is good. As cool as the creature companions were, it was a little clunky and there's a lot to read. There is going to be new ways to spend your resolve points if you were struggling to find uses for them. You know what else is coming in Starfinder Enhanced? 12 new races, including the Kitsune and including this little dying sun fireball planet looking thing. Look at it. I want one. And I know all of you anime weebs are going to enjoy this. And the furries. Now, what else has Paizo done that's newsworthy if we're not talking about Project Black Flag? Paizo has taken a firm stance against AI-generated art and AI-generated text. No matter where you fall on the argument of the pro side of artificial intelligence, the negative side of artificial intelligence, Paizo has made their stance very clear. They are firmly against AI art. They are firmly against anything generated through AI text. Paizo states that they prefer to work with human artists, and this is the direction that they are going. I respect Paizo's decision. I understand why they made the call that they did. There is currently, as it exists, there is a morally gray area around the use of AI-generated art and AI-generated text. If the legal gray areas around AI art and text are changed, maybe Paizo will change their stance on it. I don't know. Something inside that I can't quantify tells me that they probably won't. When it comes to AI-generated art, I see 3 arguments that can be made on the for side and 3 arguments that can be made on the con side, the negative side. First, on the pro side of AI art is creativity. These AI algorithms can arguably produce something that is aesthetically very pleasing to the eye. The forms, colors, and patterns that can be produced by a machine can look very appealing. And undoubtedly, AI art is increasing accessibility to art. People who may not have had the ability to go into an art gallery or go to an art museum now have more options when it comes to digital online galleries. And from this perspective, it can increase your audience because more people are now looking at art. The third argument on the pro side of AI art is efficiency. Machines are just faster at producing things than a human is. This does have potential to be useful in fields like architecture or advertising. But now if we look at some of the arguments made for the negative side of AI art, first is the lack of authenticity. Some critics argue that a machine lacks the emotional depth and emotional intelligence it takes to actually create art, something that appears to only be recreated by human hands. The second negative, and this is a big one, this is replication. This is the area that is causing the most problems online right now. AI art can very easily reproduce anything that exists online right now, and in some cases, art has been shown from a specific artist, it has been signed by that artist, when it actually hasn't been created by them. The ability to easily replicate art online lowers the value of original works, and it also raises legal questions around intellectual property and ownership. This is the largest reason I feel that Paizo has declined to use AI art in any of its forms for their games, for their products. And the last argument that we are seeing come out of AI art right now for the negative side is biases. And this comes from the data sets that AI is pulling from. The creation of the program, its programmers would have biases of their own. The art, the data that the AIs are consuming have their own biases. In doing this, the machine learning can further perpetuate social stereotypes. Personally, I do like AI art. I am interested to see what the future in this field is going to be. It's not going away. My view of this is that machines are doing exactly what we do as humans, only they're doing it faster and better. What do I mean when I say this? In order to learn art, you have to study it. You have to watch someone's style and then practice it for yourself. In the old days, you used to train with a master who taught you brushstrokes, color theory, mixing colors. You went to a master because they had skill, they had a style that you wanted to emulate or to learn from. My view of AI art is that it's doing exactly the same thing, only it's doing it at a much faster and grander scale than we as humans are even able to do. Do I agree with using AI art to plagiarize, to copy someone's style, to make someone think that it is an artist's work when it isn't? No, I don't agree with plagiarism in any of its forms. I will admit that there is something lacking when it comes to the visual presentation of AI art. It almost seems cold. It almost seems eerie to me. It's the only way that I can describe it. That's not to say that some of the images and pictures that I've seen are not stunning. They are not beautiful, but there's something missing and it's very difficult to quantify. Regardless, Paizo, I respect your decision. And if you'd like to know more about Starfinder and which class maybe fits you best, you need to click this video here. Thank you to all of my patrons for supporting me and the channel. All of the ongoing support is greatly appreciated. My name's Nathaniel. Thanks for stopping by, everyone.